It's Janet. And here is another reading from the Galactic Heritage cards that I have started to really take very much of an interest in as we begin to step into this energy of the new reality that we're trying to embrace as we move up to the higher levels of consciousness. So this is a reading for the week of November 19th, and the first card that came up made a lot of sense to me. Okay? And this is Primal Fear. What that means is that whether we like it or not, we do have many reptilian type aspects to ourselves. And what this brings up is represented in the name that the card was given, which is Primal Fear. And Primal Fear is wanting us to look at the unexpressed areas of ourselves where we're not choosing to see that we are fearful. Most people don't like a lot of people don't like reptiles. A lot of people would not even want to imagine that they have a reptilian aspect of themselves. But as you begin to look into the aspects of the galactics that are out there, there are many beings that are reptilian in nature. And they're good. They are not bad. They are not the dreaded things that people see. So this primal fear, starting the beginning of this reading, reflects back onto humanity, because we are now learning to look at our primal fears of change. And change on any aspect is scary. But those of us who've been doing this for a while know that the change is so necessary. Those that have just stepped onto the path are finding it challenging because they're realizing that their foundation of what they've constructed their whole life at is being challenged, and that they no longer have to delve into the societal roles that have been played. And that can literally start to rock the boat. So this is where this Primal Fear one comes up. The next card goes in line with the whole thing, which is Primal Fear. And it's a Vega card, which is the future. Now, this, again, it sort of slides. The energy with these cards tends to be circular into a more of a funnel type. And the cards sort of bounce off each other. That's not like past, present, and future. It's all encompassing because we're experiencing our reality as it is now and into other aspects of dimensional features. So this card, which is freedom, and it was with the Vega civilization, means that we can become free if we choose to go deeper than we've ever gone before. And they, as a species, had to do that so they could break free of the past conditionings that they were trapped in, and know that there was freedom beyond that, and it was going to be okay, that they were protected, and that they were going to be guided as long as they chose to be as honest with themselves as they could be. The next card is from Earth, which is the present, okay? Progressive desires. Progressive desires makes a lot of sense too, because we know that we have to change. We have been able to look at the world as it is, and we can see Gaia sort of going, no, this isn't going to happen, guys. We're going to have to change things as they are. So there's a lot of energy being released and destroying things as they are. And because we know that as an Earth species, we need to change. That our desires are for a world where people are living in harmony with compassion and always honoring each other's needs as well as our own. So those are the progressive desires of the aspect of being in earth. And the last one, I was only going to draw three, and of course, as don't make plans because they don't always work out. The last one that came out, the last card, very interesting, which is the Eseni, which is a parallel dimension of reality. And this species was a creation of two interconnected with a species of the Zetas and humans. And they decided that when they needed to meet, they needed to create a new species. And yet this is on a parallel aspect to us right now. And what it means is that it's alchemy. And alchemy is when we choose to understand that we have to face our deepest fears, and we have to be able to know that there is a sacredness in this, and we have to be able to feel. And so many people, when they go into their healing of who they are and where they belong in the world and what is it they want to do, don't want to embrace their feelings. And we have to embrace our feelings, even the negative and ugly ones, as they say, which are deep down within us, because that at the core is who we are. As I'm speaking about this, my solar plexus is just like woo pounding, and it's because it's taken me many years to awaken my knowingness in my body. My path in the past, I needed to shut down because I didn't want to feel. And awakening to feeling is challenging for people because they don't like to feel those uncomfortable parts and aspects of themselves. But when we learn to acknowledge them, accept them as they are, and accept that they're here for us to learn from, then the energy of those uncomfortable feelings begins to dissipate. And this is what's happening with Earth. We're learning to embrace things and knowing that there's a polarity of here and like black and white, and there has to be a meeting of these two energies so that they can balance out. So this is what's happening. So this is why I love these cards, because they take into account all the aspects of what's happening in reality and how people are shifting and knowingness and whatever. And it creates wonderful things. And when I apply these cards to my life, it's making perfect sense to me. Because I've been afraid for so many years to be able to speak up, even in my family and society, and I've held back, and I've had to embrace the fact that the time is now. It's time to go out there and be the person that I can be. Age has nothing to do with it. It's acknowledging who I am. So I welcome anybody that wants to get a better understanding of possibly of what's going on in their own lives in relationship to the reality that's around them. Give me a call. I love to be able to do readings for people and be able to help people learn to embrace their uniqueness, that we're not separate, that we are fully capable of doing anything that we need to do, and that's even increasing our aspects of being healthier and whole and feeling whole. We always were whole, but that took me a while to get to because I felt broken inside. And when I realized that my past experiences were a wake-up call for me, that brought wholeness into my being. And that's my wish for people, is that despite their past, despite their current experiences, that we experience the wholeness that we are, and that we embrace our past as part of our learning curve, and that there's nothing to be ashamed of, there's nothing to be fearful of, there's nothing to judge, because it was all in perfect order. I hope you love the energies for this week. and I will do my best to keep up with this weekly reading.